Welcome to MBA Solutions. I am Manjunath, working as an assistant professor at VVCE, Mysuru. In this video, let us discuss collecting diagnostic information in OD. Before going into the video, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe and press the bell icon to receive more notifications. So, how collecting the information for diagnosis in organizational development by OD practitioner is done? So he has to collect information, otherwise he cannot bring any intervention. He cannot bring any activity for the organizational development or to cope with the change. Now, the quality of information which he gathers, which he takes, play a very critical role. Because if the information which he has gathered, OD practitioner gathered, if it is not qualitative or not of quality, then whatever activity or intervention he brings will not give fruit or will not give result. Hence, what information the OD practitioner collects is very important, and based on that, other activities of intervention will be framed. Now, OD practitioner's competencies play a vital role in gathering information. See, it is not only how he collects the information, his competencies to collect information is also important, because most of the time OD deals with human beings or employees or people in the organization, and when you want to collect information from them, it takes lot of effort, because people might not give a proper information, they might have the fear of giving truth information. So all these problem comes, and OD practitioner should have very important skills to gather those information or to take those information from the employees of the organization. OD practitioner needs to establish a good relationship before collecting the data. Why he has to establish a good relationship with the employees or with the people in the organization? Because if there is no good relationship, then people will not give or share confidential information or important information. So that good relationship, that good rapport has to be built between the OD practitioner and the organizational employees, so that whatever data or information he gathers is of some authentication, and he can rely upon those information for further activities. And sampling technique should be defined clearly. So what kind of sample I am going to take, what sampling technique I am using, whether it is simple random sampling or stratified random sampling or systematic random sampling. So what kind of sampling technique he is going to use, that also should be defined very clearly before collecting the information. So these are some of the basic prerequisites before collecting the information or data from the organizational or from the people in the organization. OD practitioner should know the answers for the following. So before collecting the data, he should know the answers for all of these following questions. The first one is, who am I? That means who is OD practitioner? That means I am an OD practitioner. What is my role? So what I am supposed to do? Who am I? I am an OD practitioner. Now what OD practitioner has to do, that role should be very clear to him. Why am I here and what I am doing? So why I am here in this organization, what is the purpose of me being a part of this organization, and what I am doing, whether I am involving myself in improving the status quo of the organization, or am I involving myself for political reasons in the organization, what I am doing, who do I work for. So I work for the organization, I am not working for somebody else, or I work for the client. So who is the client? That also should be very clear. What do I want from you and why? You means employees of the organization or the people who are giving the data or information. What the OD practitioner want from them and why he want, whether those information is for his personal benefit or it is for the benefit of the organization, and if organization benefits, then do the employees also get benefit out of it? So all these questions has to be very clear, because when he wants to collect data, automatically they might ask you all these questions. So who are you? Why are you here? What are you doing? who do you work for, so why I have to give the information to you, what is there in it for me. So all these questions they might ask to the OD practitioner, and he has to answer all these questions so that he can build a very good relationship. Now, how will I protect your confidentiality? That also he should be very clear. He should tell them that it will be very confidential. If information is very critical and you don't want me to reveal who gave this information, then it should be very confidential. Even sometimes clients organization OD practitioner should keep the information confidential. He cannot share that with the other clients, or he cannot share that with the competitors. So like that, how he will protect the confidentiality also has to be clear. Who will have access to the data? So when he collects the data, who can access that, who can see and who can check those data? Who will have access to the data? Only OD practitioner, management, employees. So who will have that data? That also should be very clear, because he has to share that information to the people who should know this information. Whether everybody in the organization should know the information, or only several set of people who should know the organization information. What is in it for you? That means he should know how this information is going to benefit the employees of the organization. It should be very clear. So that is why in our previous videos we discussed about diagnostic model. So he should be very clear on what he is approaching, what kind of information he is taking, so that how it is going to benefit the organization. And the last one, can I be trusted? So without trust, relationship will not come. So OD practitioner has to demonstrate that trustworthiness. So he should ask himself, can I be trusted? He should ask himself that whether people can trust me. If they don't trust you, they will not give information. So this is the very strong quality of OD practitioner, where he should be trustworthy. People should feel that warmthness when he is there, so that they can share the information, and they should trust you. So these are some of the things which has to be addressed before OD practitioner collects the data. Now there are different methods, 4 major techniques for gathering diagnostic information or diagnostic data. So what are those methods? So what are the advantages and major problems, potential problems that might occur when you take those methods? The first one is questionnaire method. Questionnaire means you frame set of questions in a form, and you circulate it among the people from whom you want the responses. So in questionnaire, what are the advantages? See, questionnaire may be structured or unstructured. It may be closed-ended, sometimes open-ended, so sometimes descriptive in nature, and most of the time it is structured. It cannot be unstructured most of the time, because you frame set of questions and you make that in the form of a form, and you circulate that among those employees or those people from whom you want responses. So what are the advantages? Responses can be quantified and easily summarized. So it can be quantified. You can use different type of scales. You can use ordinal scale, nominal scales, and you can quantify those information that has been collected, and you can easily summarize it. You can easily summarize it, you can easily analyze it, because it can be quantified very easily. So that is questionnaire. One advantage. The second advantage is easy when sample is large. When imagine sample is 1000, 2000, it is easy. You can circulate this questionnaire among those 1000 employees. And nowadays technology is also supporting this kind of survey or this kind of data collection method, where you can have some forms in the form of online, and you can send it via mail if it is feasible, if it is easy, and you can collect responses, and most of the time the technology will only analyze and give the number to you directly. So this is very simple when even though sample is large. Then relative inexpensive, that means compared to other methods it is inexpensive. It is not that much of cost. It will not cost that much to the OD practitioners, because it is, you frame questions, you may take some printouts, or you may send it through online, so it is not very expensive in nature. And last one is can obtain large volume of data. That means you can include some 30, 40 questions and large volume of data can be accumulated or collected. These are the advantages of this method. Now coming to potential problems, non-empathy, because you will not see them, you cannot empathize what their answers are. That is one because you circulate that among 1,000 people and you go and sit in your cabin. After that, you go and collect those responses from the people. Now you cannot empathize what they are telling you because you are not seeing them. You cannot empathize. Only you can see the numbers on or the data or the options that they have given for each question, and you can just analyze it. You may not be able to empathize it. You may not be able to think in their perspective. This is one thing. The second thing is predetermined questions or missing issues. So when questions are predetermined and some issues might be missing because you might have failed to ask questions on some major issues which people think that the question should be asked on those aspects, because most of the time questions are structured. It is in a proper sequence or a proper order, and you cannot intervene in between and ask something new because it is already framed and you have circulated. So predetermined questions, and it sometimes might miss some issues, major issues in the questionnaire. Then over interpretation of data. Data can be over interpreted because once you collect data and once you start analyzing, you can analyze in different ways. So it might lead to over interpretation of data. You interpret in all the dimensions. Sometimes you may get confused what is right and what is wrong. That is also quite possible based on the questions and the questionnaire you have given, and that also will have an impact on analyzing and interpretation. Sometimes you might over interpret the data. And the last one is response bias. And response will always might have some bias respondents, because you will not monitor what they are responding, and sometimes they have the fear that if I answer something it might affect my job or something like that. Then people will give a biased responses, because if you ask anything negative about the organization, even though people want to give you proper information, they may think how or we who might see these data, and they might give okay, organization is very good. So these are some of the problems, potential problems based on this questionnaire. And if you take care of these problems, then I think OD practitioner can use this technique in a better way. Second one is interview, either individual or group. So interview is face-to-face interview. You sit with the people and you ask questions. Interview may be structured, may be unstructured, but the interviewer who is taking the interview should make the note of all the points that has been asked in the interview. And in that, adaptive possible subjects. So you can adopt whenever it is required. When you are asking question, you can adopt possible subjects, or you can change the subject. You can ask different question based on their responses. You can ask or frame some questions simultaneously there only. So all this spontaneously you can ask some questions, change the questions. This is quite possible there. Source of rich data. Data is very rich. I am not telling it is volume is big, but you can ask so many questions and you can get lot of information from individuals or from a small group of people. Rich data will be available. Empathetic in nature. So here you can empathize because when you are asking them, seeing them, and you can see their emotions, you can see how they are explaining the issues, you can see how they are responding. So all these will indicate lot many things about the data that you are collecting. And the last one, process of interview can build rapport. This is one important thing where in the process of taking the interview it may build rapport. That good relationship can be built, which is very much important for an OD practitioner to collect proper information. Because when you are asking people the questions, you can build that relationship. So these are the advantages. And coming to potential problems, it is expensive in nature and it is time consuming also, because you have to call individuals or group of people, few set of people, and keep on asking questions. It takes lot of time, and you have to call them, you have to take their time also. At that time you have to pay them, sometimes you have to take care of their traveling. So lot many things, it is expensive and it's time consuming. Bias in interviewer responses. So interviewer, if he has some bias, that means if OD practitioner is interviewing, he has some bias, then the questions might be different, or he might not ask the question which is relevant. So that is one of the problem, which then that means interview skills, if it is not there, framing question skills is not there, then the interviewer will also respond in a biased way. Then coding and interpretation becomes a tough task because it is descriptive in nature. It cannot be quantified very easily. It takes lot of effort to put that in coding and interpretation. That means to give this is a qualitative data, and quantifying this qualitative data is difficult. And last one, self-report bias. That means personal feeling impact at the time of interview. Self-report bias means personal feelings might impact the interview. Whatever data that they are giving, we might not respond, but whatever feelings they have, so based on that we may prepare the report. So that bias will be there. So personal feeling might impact at the time of interview. While giving some data, if the other person starts crying or starts getting sad, then we might give importance to the feeling. We may become more empathetic, and we might miss some of the important information. So all these are some of the potential problems. Now coming to the other methods, the third one is observation. So you just observe what they are doing and come and make your own note and then analyze what they are doing. So here data on behavior rather than reports on behavior. That means you see their behavior and based on that you collect the data. You will not depend on supervisor sending some behavioral report of any other individuals. So it is not about reporting their behavior from the supervisor and you read the report, make conclusions. But here the interviewer or the person who is collecting the data, he observes them live and takes the report, or he observes them and takes the data of their behavior. And real time, not retrospective. So it is real time data you're taking, you're not seeing something which has done in the past. So now what he is doing, that you are observing. So it is real time, and it is very difficult to manipulate also the behavior most of the time. And last one is adaptive. So it is adaptive in nature. You can observe them all the time, you can adapt to the changes, and you can see how they adapt to the changes. So lot many things can be studied, and it is real time, it is live. So adaptive becomes very easy. You can sit somewhere and see, you can have CC cameras and see, you can be more adaptive in collecting the data. And even that person also can work. If you have some CC camera and observing him, he might not know what is happening. Coding and interpretation becomes very difficult, because how do you quantify one's behavior? You have data you have collected through observation, that is difficult. Then sampling inconsistency. So samples become inconsistent because it is not consistent throughout. Sampling size may be very less. You cannot observe 100 people in one day. So sampling inconsistency will be there. If one or two, that too in 1 or 2 days, 3 days, because their behavior also keeps on changing from day to day. So it is sampling inconsistency will be there. And expensive in nature, very expensive, because you have to sit throughout the day, observe, and it takes lot of time. When I say time is money. Time will have lot of cost involved. And the last one is observer bias. Observer might observe something, he might make a note of the data, he might miss something, so that bias will always be there. So these are some of the potential problems. And the last one is unobtrusive measures, that is secondary source. Unobtrusive means secondary source, that means people will not know that the data has been collected, but they might have taken data in the different form, not primary source. So non-reactive, non-responsive bias, because now you are not going directly and meeting the employees, you have collected some data through secondary source, through the records of the organization. So at that time you don't, that is non-reactive will not be there, because they will not react, you are not responding to them directly. And non-responsive bias will also not be. That means you are not responding, you are not asking them directly. It is not like an interview or an observation or a kind of questionnaire. You have collected data, or organization might have collected data already, and based on that data you are going to take some action. Then high face validity, you can give lot of validity to this data because it has been collected through different source and means of the organization. And easily quantifiable. You can quantify it very easily. You can give numbers to each and every data that is available, and you can group it on based on certain themes and easily quantifiable. Then access difficulty, because certain documents, certain information or related to the organization might not be easily accessible, so that difficulty will be there. Sometimes it is very confidential, and nowadays secondary source play a major role, because nowadays lot of organization use data analytics as a means to take a lot of decisions, and lot of data has been already pumped inside the organizational knowledge base or system. So nowadays, lot of OD practitioners use this unobtrusive measures or secondary source of data to take major decisions. Because organization also is taking lot of decisions, and this is one method or this is one way of collecting some major information. And based on this, OD practitioner can build an interview or a questionnaire based on selective individuals. That is left to him. But where this data is accessible, whether this data is accessible to everybody or the OD practitioner, that has to be taught. And validity concern, so how can I valid, because it has face validity, because I am just seeing the data in the form of a form or in the form of a technology. I am seeing everybody's data, maybe his biodata, how many years he is working from. It is have only that face value. Whatever I am seeing, I believe it is right, but how I can validate it, how I can really believe on this data, that is difficult. Coding and interpretation difficulty, because sometimes here also we have qualitative data. Some data can be easily quantifiable, but not all the data. So, and if organization does not have quantified their performance appraisal system or benchmarking of employees performance or something like that, then it becomes more difficult for us to quantify. And if the whole data or secondary source itself is descriptive in nature, then quantifying coding and interpretation becomes more difficult. So these are different methods in which a OD practitioner can collect data. He can mix all these methods based on the employees or based on the respondents, or he can choose one method and he can decide, and but he has to take care of all these potential problems before taking decision on any one of these technique or tools. Because these potential problems, until and unless he does not address these problems, he cannot go further in collecting data in an effective way. Thank you for watching the